Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Brandon T. Jones in for Laura today. We do want to go ahead and start things outdoors because it seems like it's already a beautiful day, but meteorologist Thomas Patrick is standing by at the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, how's it feeling out there and what do we have to look forward to this week, my friend?
Oh, Brandon, it is sunny conditions, blue skies, a gentle breeze, but honestly, these winds comfortable enough when your temperatures look like this. It's about 60 degrees as of the noon hour right now. That sunshine should get us up to about 70 for this afternoon, but I'll tell you what, quite a bit of some cirrus clouds just starting to populate the sky. Not enough to stop that sunshine, but you'll notice it get a little bit cloudier kind of hour after hour as we head throughout the rest of the day here. Even just check out the west side. They have a lot of those high clouds overhead at the moment, and it's all just gently drifting eastward. So no rain for today. It's going to take quite a while for all that cloud cover to really infiltrate Washington State and get into North Idaho as well. A little energy wave is going to ride the ridge of this jet stream as it passes through. That is what will eventually give us rainfall into tomorrow morning, but obviously a very enjoyable day as it stands today. Just a snapshot of what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to make the biggest difference than compared to what we've had recently is that this is widespread rain. This is north to south, east to west across the area. So widespread rain to likely start out the day tomorrow. And coming up, I'm going to detail how long that is going to last through the day Tuesday, but it definitely looks like this is probably going to be our wettest day overall of the work week. So we'll track that plus our first crack at 80 degrees in Spokane later on this week. So we'll have all that plus your Bloomsday forecast. A lot to cover in your full forecast.
Alrighty, we look forward to hearing that, Thomas. Today, President Trump's border czar said that undocumented immigrants living illegally in the United States cannot, quote, hide. The administration claims it has done more to secure the border in the president's first 99 days in office than any other president in history. Natalie Brand has a look at what's been done.
President Trump has said he believes immigration and border security were a large part of why he was elected. Today, the administration is trying to highlight its crackdown, even as courts raise alarm about due process in some of the recent deportation cases. DEA agents raided a nightclub in Colorado Springs Sunday, saying they arrested more than 100 undocumented migrants and seized drugs and weapons.
While you're all sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there are men and women out there enforcing the law and making this country safe again.
The arrests come as the Trump administration touts its efforts to secure the border during the president's first 100 days in office.
We are in the beginning stages of carrying out the largest deportation campaign in American history.
But the White House is facing questions about due process for individuals and families, especially in light of the deportations last week of 3 U.S.-born children and their migrant mothers to Honduras.
They weren't deported. We don't deport U.S. citizens. The parents made that decision, not the United States government.
The White House's border czar says there's been around 139,000 deportations since President Trump took office. The administration has put these posters on the White House North Lawn of people it's identified as unauthorized immigrants convicted of crimes. With the Trump administration's immigration crackdown, advocacy groups say they've been flooded with calls.
Not only is there that fear, though, but there's a lot of uncertainty about what to do. It's almost like people are paralyzed.
While President Trump's overall approval rating has fallen during his first 100 days, a majority of those surveyed, 56%, say they approve of his program deporting immigrants in the country illegally. In the same survey, around 3/4 say they do not think it's acceptable if some legal residents are detained by mistake as part of the president's program, and just 49% approve of the president's handling of immigration overall. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Looking ahead now, the clock is ticking with a little more than 1 week until the Real ID deadline. TSA is sending out a reminder that changes are on the way when these new security standards go into effect. Once that day arrives and if you don't have a Real ID, you could run into some delays. With that in mind, here's what you can do to prepare. I've heard many slots are either filled or filling up fast, so the sooner you check, the better off you'll be. You also want to check on requirements of what you need to bring with you to that appointment, such as your current ID, social security number, and a utilities bill to confirm address. Another thing to know if you can't get an appointment or you won't be able to meet the deadline, Other acceptable forms of ID include a U.S. passport or enhanced driver's license. Right now, we are waiting to see if Washington Governor Bob Ferguson will approve a new state budget. Over the weekend, Washington lawmakers passed a plan that would increase taxes and slash state spending. Drew Mickelson breaks down the proposed budget.
All year, we've been waiting to see how the legislature was going to make up for the state's multi-billion-dollar deficit. In the end, they came to an agreement on a budget that would increase taxes and have cuts to state services. Almost everyone in the state will be impacted if Governor Bob Ferguson signs the bills into law.
Do you want this?
Under the final bills of the session, special education funding would be increased by more than $1 billion. Landlords would be prohibited from raising the rent more than 10% a year based on inflation. But funding for colleges and universities would be reduced, along with financial aid and child care subsidies from the state. The final budget calls for nearly $9 billion in new taxes, but no state employees would be furloughed. The state's rainy day savings account is untouched, and cities and counties would receive $100 million to hire more law enforcement. On the tax side, the gas tax would go up 6 cents starting in July. Most business owners would pay more, along with the state's top capital gains earners. And a new electric vehicle tax would be established. For now, only Tesla would be impacted.
Every time we raise a tax, we take money out of a consumer's pocket.
While Republicans felt the budget could be balanced without new taxes, the Democrats, who control the majority in the House and Senate, said the cuts went deep enough.
For special ed kids, there's a lot more that we have to do, and we're not making progress at the rate that we need to be doing. And this is not even talking about our civil commitment, our inpatient beds, our substance use disorder treatment. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
In a written statement, Governor Bob Ferguson said he appreciated the legislature passing a budget that was less reliant on taxes than the original proposals from earlier in the year, but he says he will be reviewing all the budgets line by line before making any decisions on signing. He has 20 days from today. In Olympia, Drew Mickelson, KREM 2 News.
So the proposed budget does offer some hope for Spokane-based Maddie's Place. In less than 10 minutes, we'll look at how continued funding will impact lives here in the Inland Northwest. Well, happening today, the Spokane City Council is set to talk about an ordinance to add protections for the LGBTQ+ community. The protection will be added to a current ordinance, adding a new section that city-provided health care shall extend coverage for the rights of individuals to seek health care services and gender-affirming treatment. Gender-affirming treatment is legal in Washington state. In February, a federal judge also blocked President Donald Trump's executive order that would have made it illegal for transgender people under age 19.